knows what's going on, at least from my understanding of it so far. There are people in a room over here. They are dressed in costumes, and they will parade themselves past all of you to be judged by these fine folks here. They will walk down that aisle over there where people are trying to take photographs. They will head out that door. Aha, so that everyone knows the flow of the room. In through here, past the front of the stage, and then down that aisle toward the door. Photographers, you may want to put yourselves on this side of the room, just so that we can maintain the flow. At this time, in the 5th year of the Akron Comic-Con, we have a very special presentation before I can get going with the contest. So at this time, I would like to turn the microphone over to my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Jason Fitch and Mr. Mark Sumarak.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Sumarak, and I'm one of the co-founders of POP, the Comic Culture Club, which is a club that runs both in the Cleveland and Akron areas to celebrate the joy of comics. One of the great things we do through this convention, run by Mike Sveen and Bob Jenkins and Jesse Vance, is share the love of comics. Not all the negativity that you can find online and in groups where people fume about the terrible things that they hate. It's the love of comics that fuels us. And we're fortunate to have a lot of people in the comics industry who help us do that. And not only do we love the positivity about comics, we love the history of comics. So I'm going to go into a little bit of history just for a second here. 1986 was a good year for comics. From things like The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen to Born Again and Man of Steel, comics were in a great period in 1986. And in 1986, we got the origin story of one of the most important women in comics, at least to the Cleveland area. That woman is Carol Casper. And we, as a group, want to celebrate her today. Carol started in 1986 at North Coast Nostalgia, and 4 years later, she opened her own shop, which many of us have visited over the years, Carol and John's Comics. Many of us are loyal customers, and even those who aren't there regularly have visited during one of their special events, be it Free Comic Book Day or Halloween Comic Fest. It's been something absolutely spectacular that has been a part of the Cleveland comic industry and a part of our fan community for so long. And one of the things that we at POP have taken from her and the example that she's set is the positivity and family environment that she's created when you come to the comic book shop. That's something that we have tried to emulate in everything we do at POP, and that everything they do at this convention has tried to copy as well, to show that comics is about love, comics is about acceptance, and comics is about family. This is where we are, this is what we love to do, and it's because of people like Carol that we can do this together and we can love this stuff. So that is why we're gathered here today. Jay's going to share a little bit of a story before we go on any further, but we're here to celebrate a very good person. So Jay?
You know, how many of you remember your first trip to an actual comic shop? I mean, you remember that awe that you had when you walked in, and it wasn't just a little rack with a few different titles on it. It was books from years ago, books that were more money than you have ever seen in your life. You know, old books, new books. It was great. I remember the first comic shop I went into was North Coast Nostalgia when I was in junior high, and Carol was working there. She probably doesn't remember me. I was on my little Schwinn bike and with a friend, and we rode there, and it became a thing. You know, once a month we would show up at the comic shop, and she was like a mother hen. You know, what are you guys looking for? What are you doing? How's it going? And it was nice to have that kind of attention from somebody, you know, especially in a male-dominated industry at that time. And after a while, I, fell out of the comic book business and being a kid, it's a business. But it was probably a good 10 years I was working at York Comics and Cards. And Carol and John were running Carol and John's Comics, of course. And there was never a sense of rivalry with the two shops. You know, it's always a friendly atmosphere, a friendly relationship. It was never like, oh, you don't want to go to that shop. You know, we would give them books, they would give us books, and it was a great relationship. And once I left York Comics and Cards, I actually became a customer at Carol and John's because I chose her and her outlook on life and the way she made me feel as a customer and a fan over a place I spent 10 years working that I was loyal to. So, Carol, we love you. We appreciate all you've done for this industry. And we'd like to present a little something to you. So, come on up.
So, Carol, after 30 years in the industry, we felt that you were deserving. Carol retired in June and is now a full-time grandma at the age of 35, if you wouldn't believe. But she is now the recipient of the 2016 Pop and Akron Comic-Con Lifetime Achievement Award. So, Carol,
I have to say something.
Why not? I've never heard you quiet in the shop, Carol.
This is the first. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed all 30 years of work in the comic industry. Not really because of the comics. Because of the people. Woo! And the hardest thing that I had to do when I retired was not missing the books or whatever. I really appreciate that when I do come in for all the parties and the different events that we have, that you all show up and make me feel really loved, like I was someone important in your life that you will never forget. And I've been told that in those words. So, I have to give a shout out to my son John. Because if it wasn't for his love of comics, we wouldn't be, the store wouldn't be as successful as it is if it wasn't for him. I was the mother, the wife, the girlfriend, the listener. You know, I know more secrets about you people than you think I know. But he is the brains behind the store, and the people that we have working for us are awesome. So, since I don't follow, I will thank you very much for this. It's very appreciated, and I'll treasure it forever, and I will remember you all forever. Thank you.
Follow that, because I know how loved Carol is, and you know, I started getting back into comics recently myself, and Carol was there, and she and I have had our own conversations about health issues and everything else that's been going on, and I'm so happy that she got that award. Anyone who has to follow you, Carol, I don't know how they do it, and I certainly don't know how I'm going to do it, so let's just get on with the contest. It's the best way I know how. So we're going to start out with the kids here first, and my first kid coming through is going to be Erin. She is cosplaying as the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Up next is Jaden, and Jaden is Robin from Batman. Now it's time for Ashlyn, who is Maul from The Descendants. After Ashlyn, it's Robbie, who is Superman from Superman. Up next is Kaylee. I'm sorry, Kaylee. And Kaylee is Harley Quinn from Batman. Up next is a young man after my own heart. This is Lincoln, who dressed up as Rhino from Spider-Man. Up next, we have Quinn, who is Cyrano Jones from Star Trek, or Cyrano. After Quinn, it's time for Dominic, who is Smaug, the dragon from The Hobbit. Up next is competition today. Let's hear it all for him one more time. They're all out in the hallway, so we gotta be really loud for them. There we go. All right, this time it's going to be the teens. Up first is Taylor, who is Poison Ivy from Batman. And here comes Casey, who is the Punisher from Daredevil. Up next is Ben, who is Batman. Up next is Jared, who is Lubbock from a Japanese word I cannot pronounce. But Audrey knows it, and she told it to me and I still can't say it because it's in Japanese. Akame ga kill. Akame ga kill. I've learned Japanese and so can you. Up next is Jessica, who is Kaito Shion from Vocaloid. And I'm sure I have already screwed up Japanese with that. Up next is Caitlin, who is Trickster Jane Crocker from Homestuck. Now it's Clara, who is Maka Albam from Soul Eater. Up next is Peyton as Ruby Rose. Sorry, Peyton is no longer with us. Don't take it so morbidly, crowd. No, it's Felicity, who is Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family. See the tie-in there? Now, it was a little morbid, wasn't it? Up next is Emma, who is Judy Hops Farmer from Zootopia. I just saw that movie the other day. It's adorable. Now it's Katie as Toad from Mario Party. Up next is Trinity, who is Arno from Assassin's Creed. And now Gianna, who is Ezio from Assassin's Creed. Next up is Emily, who is Palutena from Super Smash Brothers. And now it's Chloe as Abu Sakura from Naruto. Now is Carrie Beth as Deadpool from Deadpool. Here comes Christopher, who is Sans the Skeleton from Undertale. Here comes Allie, she's the security guard from Five Nights at Freddy's. Costume contest. Up first is Crystal as Poison Ivy. Up next, it's Katie as Catwoman. Here comes Tammy as Repo. Reaper. They put Repo. They probably can't hear you through the mask. Or Tammy. Because I don't know anyone's name, even with it here. I lied about Cody and Ryan. They do a terrible job. That's not true. That is not true. You guys are so good. All right, up next is Kevin as an NCR Ranger from Fallout. And now here comes Vito as Batman. Here comes Jason as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hi, Cody.
Hi.
You ran away.
A moment citizens. The monkey has moved from the other side, or to the other side of the room without my influence. It's okay, monkey.
I got my knee collar on. I don't want to get too close to you.
Okay, so a brief correction here. Peyton is one of our teen contestants and found herself in the wrong line of people who were of a similar size as her. So she lined up with them. But here comes Peyton from the teen competition, mind you, as Ruby. A moment. Thank you. And now back to the adult contest. This is Jen as Frisk from Undertale. Up next is Marquise as Static Shock. And now it's Kenny as Spider-Man. Up next is Jeff, who is a steampunk Ghostbuster. All right, now it's time for Allie, who is Nocturne from the X-Men. Hooray for blue people! Spoon! Up next is Eric as Catman from DC Comics.
Yay!
And now Bo as Sasori from Naruto. Here is Mitch as Darth Mantis. And now Devin, who is a vault dweller from Fallout. Up next is Brandon, who is Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street. And now it's Cody, who is Destiny Hunter from Destiny. Up next is Madison as Femme Castiel from Supernatural. Now it's Anthony as Secret Squirrel. Turn sideways, Anthony.
Sideways. Oh!
So I really just enjoy watching Anthony try to get the full steampunk
Turned
costume.
on again.
Joey as Ash from The Evil Dead. Here comes Johanna as Cinderella. Up next is Dip Street Cosplay as Captain Jack Sparrow. Up now is Ben as Beast from Over the Garden Law. it's Robert, the preacher, Jesse Custer. Up next is Christopher, the G-Man from Half-Life 2. Prepare yourselves for Derek, who is the Red Hood. Here comes Keith as Deadpool. And now it's Jerome as the Boogeyman. Which one of you little kids let him out of your closet? You should have known. All right, it's time. Well, it's almost time. Our boogeyman is on his own time once he escaped from a child's nightmare. Now it's Amy as Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. There he is. Up next is John, the Superior Spider-Man. And now it's Jim as Judge Death from the Judge Dredd comics. On to the next page, this is Kaylee, the Warrior Elf. Audrey has to touch everything that she thinks is cool. It's how she experiences the universe. She's very tactile. Up next is Megan as Bombshell Batwoman. And now it's Chris, who is a Starfleet captain from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Up next is Maria as Darth Zurg. And now it's Matt as Deadpool. For comparison's sake, here's Josh as Deathstroke. It's not often you get them back to back in the competition. Thought I'd point it out. Little DC Marvel rivalry. Now it's Nicole as Shell from Portal. Here comes Steve as Geeker the Clown, an original costume.
Oh, gee.
Ew.
Take care, evildoer! Up next is William, a U.S. agent from Marvel. And now here's Mike, a stormtrooper. Beware, you rebel scum. Up next is Chris, who is Black Panther. Here comes Carol as Sailor Venus. And finally, amongst our adults, this is Shannon as Loki. I lied. We're adding one more. This is Audrey talking to Loki. I know who's coming. Thank you, Cody. Cody again, everybody. He's so good. He's making sure that I know while Loki is being spoken to. But here comes KJ as Kylo Ren. Judges, please make sure you add KJ as Kylo at the bottom of your clips. So, it looks like it. Normally these three, we're into the... Here are Emily and Sarah as Thor and Loki. Up next are Morgan and Jackie as Quee the Corn and Pantastic, an original costume team. Here are Olivia and Shane as the Joker and Harley Quinn from Batman. Up next are Jacob and Morgan, Dava Keen from Skyrim. Up next are Curtis, Eric, and Andy as Daredevil, Punisher, and Elektra. Up next are Ryan, Crystal, and Kira as Kanan, Sabine, and Darth Vader from Star Wars. Kira is soaking up the spotlight. I can't say I blame her. Someday she'll be here doing my job. I hope. That would make me incredibly happy to know little Kira came back one day and did this. Up next are Riley and Jace as Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. And now, citizens, please welcome Kim, Ryan, Pete, Cliff, and Hallie, the Carnival of Horrors Insane Asylum. Up next are Corlin and Eli as Captain America and the Vision. Wait, when Vision comes by, you gotta get stared at by Vision. It's so good. He's got a little, the little jewel and the contacts are in there. It was amazing. The Vision was staring at me earlier. I was very intimidated. Up next are Brady and Jason from Spider-Man. They are Spider-Men. Here come Lindsay, Andrew, and Dave from the Suicide Squad. And now here come Bryce and Damien as Natsu and Gray from Fairy Tale. come Conrad and Tyler as Negan and Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Do it! Captain Popcorn is fine.
Finally, we have Dee and Elizabeth as Lady Loki and Bucky. And that, ladies and gentlemen. So a couple of thank yous first. For those who didn't see Keith Miller, the Joker, come up here to me, the guy in the very colorful costume, Keith brought me a little hand-drawn card that he did of the Tick. Keith and his fiancée, now Courtney, they just got engaged on Halloween. They have a booth here at the Akron Comic-Con this weekend, and Keith is drawing a bunch of pictures, including this one that he gave to me. I am so thankful for him doing that, my friendship with them, and I wanted to show it to all of you so you can see the awesome work that Keith does. So a little shameless plug for him there. Also, we have some extra awards that are going to be going out to our best craftsmanship winner and our best group, I believe I was told, if I remember that right. And there we go, best craftsmanship and best group, right?
There we go.
Is that what we agreed on? Yes, okay, so they're gonna get some of this really awesome thermoplastic, and the request is that when they win it, they use it and post the pictures onto the pop page so that these guys can kind of see the progress with whatever new costume they're gonna be working on. So this is all donated from them and we greatly appreciate it. That hat, by the way, was made out of this stuff. So it's very, very cool. So, without further ado, let's get into our winners for the evening. Up first is the kids because they have to go to bed in a little while. So, in second place amongst our kids, it's Dominic as Smog the Dragon from The Hobbit.
He's already there. Already got him. He was ready.
Let's hear it for Dominic as Smog, everybody! And in first place in the kids' competition, it's Lincoln as Rhino from Spider-Man! Here he comes now.
Till 6. The show will be closing in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
Chris, they're closing in 5 minutes!
Not here. One more time. Anyone see Black Panther?
Well, wow.
How very mysterious of the Black Panther to disappear back to Wakanda. Apparently we'll have to mail him his award. Chris is going to be really disappointed too. I know Chris, he's a wonderful guy. Poor Chris, he worked so hard on that costume too, so somewhere he wants to win. Well, without Chris, let's go to our Johanna as Cinderella.
Alright, guys, we go over to the stage.
Careful, don't lose your slipper. Disney jokes. Good. She made it up with both her shoes still on. Well done, Cinderella.
Okay, I'll walk with you for a minute.
All right, that takes care of the adult category, everybody. And I'm sorry Black Panther couldn't be here for photos, but he's mysterious. All right, we have 3 awards left on the table, so let's go next to our best group. one award to give out to the best group, and that best group award is going to Jacob and Morgan, the Davakeen from Skyrim.
Thank you.
Good job.
Coming up, they have trophies for winners. You won a thing! Award, and then our Best in Show award. So first up is Best Craftsmanship, and that is going to Kaylee, the Warrior Elf.
Haley, the Warrior Elf, best craftsmanship in the air. And give a round of applause.
And here comes Kaylee, our winner of the Best Craftsmanship award.
Cutie.
Come on up, Kaylee. They have your award here at the judges' table. And now, fans, the moment you've all been waiting for. Who took home the 2016 Akron Comic-Con Best in Show? That prestigious award is going to... Jeff, the Steampunk Ghostbuster!